Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today we're going to talk about 3D sublimation. So I feel like this is the hot new trend. You see it all over Facebook, people putting 3D images on things like tumblers, and they look so good. So I thought I'd talk a bit about 3D sublimation today and make 5 different projects. So I didn't want you to just think you could only make tumblers or mugs with the 3D prints. You can put this on any sublimation blank that you would like. So we're gonna do metal tumblers, we're gonna do a glass tumbler, some coasters, a mouse pad, and then I've been wanting to try this little, it's like a pencil cup, so it is basically a mug without a handle. Fits in the Cricut mug press and I've been wanting to try it forever, so I'm gonna try it in this video today. So let's talk a little bit about what 3D sublimation is. 3D sublimation is just the fact that the print looks 3D. So you can either grab the 4 prints I have for you, so I have 4 prints for free, and you can grab those in the description below this video, and you can try those with your projects. You can go to Etsy, Creative Fabrica, Design Bundles, all those places, and search 3D sublimation print, and probably find a wide variety of prints that will work on your sublimation blanks. Then you just print those on your sublimation printer with sublimation ink and follow all the directions for your sublimation blank to apply the print. And then you have a 3D look and it looks amazing for your projects. So I did actually make the tumblers. So I made 20-ounce skinny tumblers and I did a whole video on how to get seamless designs on the tumblers. I will link to that in the description below. So if you want like very detailed instructions for this tumbler, that would be the place to go. I'm just going to do like a brief, quick overview of how to make a tumbler in this video. So first let's take a look at the prints themselves, the 3D sublimation prints, and what they look like printed out on our sublimation paper. So here's a look at some 3D sublimation prints. So the file itself has a 3D look, and then you print it on your sublimation printer. So this is sublimation ink on sublimation paper, printed on a sublimation printer. Now you can get a wide variety of these. You can find them on Etsy. I have these 4 files for free and you can try those, but there are a variety of ways to get a 3D looking sublimation print. So now we're going to make 5 different projects with these prints just to see how it looks on different surfaces. In addition to the sublimation prints, you will need a few other supplies. So you'll need heat resistant gloves, protective paper, a lint roller, heat resistant tape, and then you'll need sublimation blanks. So I'm going to do 5 different projects in this video, including a metal tumbler, glass tumbler, pencil cup, or you could use this as like a candle holder, you could use it as a planter, just whatever you would like with this one. And then some coasters and a mouse pad. Then you'll also need a heat source that gets to at least 400 degrees. I'm going to use a variety of heat sources in this video just to show you a wide variety of options, but you can use whatever you have on hand. I am going to be using a tumbler press for these 2, however you can use a sublimation oven. This one as well could be done in an oven, and I'm going to use the Cricut mug press for it. Then just a standard heat press or easy press for these 2 would be fine. So now we have our supplies, we have our sublimation prints, and it is time to make some projects. So let's take a look at how to make these 5 projects. So we're going to start out with this metal sublimation tumbler, the Skinny Tumbler. You're going to clean it well with a lint roller and then apply your sublimation print. Like I said, I do have a full video on applying the sublimation print if you want super specific details on how I tape it, cut the print, all that kind of thing. And in the free file bundle I do have ones that are sized specifically for the 20-ounce tumbler. So if you want to make the seamless looking design, you can do that with these prints. I do have the full-size versions as well, so if you want to print a full page, you can do that for these other projects that we're going to make. After you lint roll your tumbler, then apply your sublimation print. Now you want to tape up that seam well, go over it well, burnish it down well, and I like to tape both the top and the bottom of my tumblers. This is how I get the best results. You might find that you don't have to tape as much, but I like this method. And then I add protective paper on my tumblers because I'm going to use a tumbler press. Now here you can use a tumbler press, you can use a sublimation oven, you can use whatever you have in order to press these tumblers. I've even done skinny tumblers in the Cricut mug press. After you press it, just remove that sublimation print and you have a gorgeous looking tumbler that you can be so proud of. And I love how each of these tumblers turned out. I actually added each of the 4 prints to 20-ounce skinny tumblers. So I did make a ton of tumblers in the making of my seamless tumbler video, and yes, they were all with these 3D prints. So So now let's move on to the Mousepad. So for the Mousepad, I did do a pre-press, about 10 seconds to remove any moisture, then lint roll the top and apply your sublimation print just with some heat-resistant tape. Then protective paper on both sides. For this Mousepad, I'm pressing sublimation print side up. It is 375 degrees for 80 seconds. Now you can use any heat press with this. I'm using my auto press, but you definitely do not have to. Once that time is done, you just peel back the sublimation print and reveal a gorgeous Mousepad with a 3D looking floral design. Now I'm going to do some hardboard coasters, and I will say I did preheat these a little bit. So I just kind of hovered my heat press over them for about probably 60 seconds and then allowed them to cool before I did this process. That removes at least some of the moisture. Hardboard is known to have quite a bit of moisture. Then we just lint roll the top, and I'm applying all 4 of my coasters to the same sublimation print. This is one way to do it, but you can definitely cut the print or size the print to your coasters. Tape those into place well, add protective paper on both sides, and then press. It's 400 degrees for 60 seconds. I'm using my auto press, however you can use any heat press with these coasters. Now coasters vary widely with their directions, so be sure to check wherever you purchase your coasters for the time and temperature that they recommend. Then once these were done, I removed them from the press and removed that sublimation print. And I was super impressed with how vibrant these coasters were, and I can't wait to use them. So now it's time to do that pencil cup. So I lint rolled the entire thing. I did go ahead and cut my sublimation print for this one to the correct size before I started filming here. Then I wrapped it around the pencil cup and taped it into place well. Again, I like to tape down the seam as well as around both the top and the bottom, and then make sure those are burnished down really, really well and everything is really tight. And then I added some protective paper, and here I'm using my Cricut mug press. Now you could use a tumbler press for this, you could use a sublimation oven, you could use whatever you have. So with the Cricut mug press, I put it in and I let that timer count down. Then I rotated it so it would get the entire cup and sublimate the entire thing. However, after I rotated it, the timer would not work because everything was already hot. So I just timed it for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds on that second side. Then I removed it, put it on a heat resistant mat, and then unwrapped everything. I like to unwrap mine while they're warm so the tape removes easier, so I just used my heat resistant gloves. Once everything was off, I was in love with this pencil cup, and I think the seam looks really, really good. Now I didn't do a seamless design on this one, but the seam looks amazing. Finally, I'm doing a glass tumbler. So I went ahead and cleaned this well. You can use a lint roller. You could also use rubbing alcohol on this one, but if you do that, be sure to let it dry really, really well because the glass can crack if it's wet at all. Then we're going to add our sublimation print, and again, I trimmed this one before I started filming. Add tape, again, all the way down the seam as well as the top and the bottom, burnishing it down really, really well, making sure it's stuck. Then I added protective paper around the outside, and I went ahead and used my tumbler press for this one as well. Again, you can use whatever heat source is convenient for you. The timing on this one is 360 degrees for 120 seconds, and I did have to rotate it. So I pressed once at that, rotated it, pressed a second time, 360 degrees, 120 seconds, then removed it from my tumbler press, and removed the protective paper as well as that sublimation print. Again, heat resistant gloves, and I removed everything warm. This one looks really good. Now keep in mind this is a frosted glass tumbler, so you can see it a little bit better. If you do the clear glass, the glass of course is clear and you can see through your sublimation ink, so the print might not look as bright and vibrant. For instance, it doesn't look as bright and vibrant on this as it would say a white skinny tumbler. But overall, I really love the way this turned out. Even the seam looks great. So in this one, I used a taping technique for my seam where I put a piece of tape across one of the short edges. Then when I overlapped the print onto that taped seam. This helps keep the seam really clean, doesn't get overly dark, doesn't get overly sublimated in that area. Check out that Skinny Tumbler video I mentioned for a complete breakdown of that hack if you're interested in using it for your seams. And that's it. Now I have 5 gorgeous 3D sublimation projects, and I could keep going, right? So it does not matter what the project is, what the sublimation blank is, as long as it's sublimation blank and I can find a 3D sublimation print I like, print it on my sublimation printer, I can make some really gorgeous designs. So I'm kind of in love with this 3D trend and all the things people are coming up with. So these are floral patterns, but people are coming up with all kinds of 3D patterns, and I can't wait to see where this trend goes. So if you like this trend, be sure to give it a try on one of the 5 projects I showed today, or any other projects that you might have in mind that you're thinking about making with your sublimation printer. I really think you'll enjoy it. Are you ready to get those free sublimation prints? Remember, I have 4 floral designs that are 3D free for you. They are in the description below this video. So scroll down below the video if you're on computer and click show more where the description is. If you're on mobile, you have to click the arrow or swipe up on the video depending on how you're watching. You'll find a list of links where to get these free files, where to get these great sublimation blanks that I used, all kinds of useful links that you'll need in that description. So head there for any questions you might have or drop a comment and I'll be happy to help you. So thank you all so much for joining me. If you have any questions about anything we've covered, drop down in the comment section, ask away. If you liked this video, if it helped you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.